It was a cold night. The stars in the sky were shining. Rain was coming because of the winter. The place was silent. It was even possible to hear the crickets squeak. Before, a group of two friends decided to camp that night.
Well, I don't think that today is a good day to camp. It looks like it's going to rain and everything is dry.
I told you that tomorrow you'd be better.
We just finished setting up your camp and starting the fire and you were clapping.
We could be at our home, watching a good movie on our beds, but we are here in the wood lot and sitting down on rocks.
You two were fun. Last week everyone was in the mood to the camp, and now you want to go back home.
What? You decided here to go too?
What did you want? Camping in your backyard. And for your information, this is my first time I've been here. A friend told me about this place. He said it was very nice and we could hear the crickets and the other little birds.
Nice? That's horrible. Your friend must be great.
How cold do you take us to the place that you don't ever know? Do you know the way back?
Sir, and we are only leaving tomorrow morning. They will be light and easy to find the way, so don't be afraid about that. Let's enjoy the moment.
They were calming themselves down as they went by and getting familiar with the environment. After they had already eaten and talked a lot, a stranger noise was heard. It sounded like footsteps of someone getting closer and closer every minute.
What the fuck was that noise?
It sounds like someone is great closer.
How? Nobody in this dump. How would come here by this time?
Don't tell me you are hearing.
Of course, that's the sound of a person. Look at those bushes moving.
Someone is get out.
Good night. I'm sorry if I scared you.
Who are you? What do you want with us?
We don't have any money to give you. You are just camping.
Please, I leave you alone.
No, you don't understand. I'm not a thief.
No? So what are you doing here?
In fact, near these woods there's a small village where I live. Sometimes I'm in a hurry and I take this way because it's a shortcut to get there faster.
Okay.
Let me tell you one more thing, an advice.
What?
This is not a good place to camp. People say that a lot of accidents happen here.
Accident? What kind of accident?
People have disappeared.
How?
Yes, you heard it right. A lot of people that came to this place never got back.
And how do you know that?
I hear lots of stories in the village about here.
If here is very dangerous, why do you get this way? Aren't you a friend?
Let's say that I know how to walk around here.
Don't get it, my friend went here to camp 3 years ago and he said that he saw a lot of families here. Some of them were camping too. Some were even going doing trails. It seemed a peaceful place.
Well, let me tell you what happened. A long time ago, a family lived here, but the woods weren't as dense as today. They lived in a cottage in the middle of the woods. The family had only one child. They used it to live peacefully here. But one day, people from government went here and told the family that they were going to build something in that place, and they needed to get out because they were going to demolish their house. The family didn't agree with that. They stood up and said that they weren't going to leave because it wasn't fair. After a lot of discussion about that, the family went to the court and kept their house. Some weeks later, a group of men mysteriously went to the woods and set fire on everything. The family woke up scared. They couldn't put out the fire. The parents were desperate to protect their son, a 15-year-old boy. They could save the child, but with their own lives. Both died in the accident. The child saw his house in ruins and his parents burned to death. Can you imagine this situation? The boy's mind was totally disturbed after that. He was angry with everything and everyone. 3 days after the tragic accident, the boy went back to the place where he had lived and committed suicide, shooting his own head. People say he got the weapon with a friend of his father. Since that, this place wasn't the same anymore. Who knows, this story tells that the boy didn't cross the way of light until today, and his soul continues on earth, tormenting everyone that goes throughout the woods. Did you understand why this isn't a good place to camp? Well, I have to go now. Have a good night.
The girls kept it quiet for a few minutes, looking at each other, pale and trembling in fear. They knew that camping wasn't a good idea at all, but they chose to stay there. Later,
What is this music?
It come from my cell phone, but it wasn't working. I don't even know this music.
Turning it off.
I'm trying.
Just stop it.
Do you hear that?
The music stopped, but what was this scream?
It was not. Must be our wall meet.
Let's get out of this place before anything worse happens.
No, you're very nice stooping your king.
How? I checked the bar before well left. They were just fine.
I don't know, but we are in a big trouble. It's completely dark and the fire is putting out.
Look at those trees.
They were burning.
We must hurry.
Stay away or we are gone. Doesn't matter. Let's go in any direction.
Look, everything's burning.
How is this possible?
What's this noise? It's come from my cell phone?
Who cares about heat? Our must be burning too bad.
Listen, a voice is coming from her cell phone.
I tried to warn you. I told you all the stories, but you didn't care. Did you think it was a lie? Now you burn as my parents were 3 years ago.
that night the forest was burning. Nobody ever heard about those 3 girls that decided to camp, but they weren't the first and they won't be the last.